Alright. Time to be washed up, specially able detective again. I think I wanted to buy some more medicine just in case. Also, I'm thinking to buy later when I have a little bit more money. The medicine that heals you up to 3 charges.
The tear machine your bottles clunk.
Damn it, that's nothing. I have nothing to say.
Is it
Yeah.
A colourful display.
again? I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
So cigarettes cost 2.9, and the other guy sold it for 2. Pale aged vodka. I wonder if his amnesia, I already I think said it before, but I wonder if it's related to pale, because it
A
has
small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the
This
Saint
property.
Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something. Okay, here.
And since different kinds of like booze and drugs stack up, wait 1 sec. Okay, that's just been ads on my phone.
Looking for something?
You could push him by asking him to show you the soles of his boots. He definitely looks like someone capable of a lynching.
Yeah, I don't know. This is about the drug business. It's too low still. Let me see the soles of your boots.
Been admiring the stompers, right? Sure, I can demonstrate them.
He lifts up to show you his left foot, then right.
On the bottom of the man's boots, you see an intricate tangle of treads with no immediately discernible pattern.
What's up with your soles?
It's Revachol.
Where do you get the boots like that?
Custom made. Cost me a pretty penny.
He rubs the back of his balding head.
You'll see when the time
Jesus.
comes, officer. True patriots carry Revachol in their very souls.
Shit. Wait, what? It's still going down.
Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness.
But I
Whatever
healed
noble
myself.
intentions you once had as a police officer, it's eating them all up now.
But I never died from morale. Let's see how it goes. I
You're
guess.
still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right?
I'm seriously run out of shades to carry him. Fuck you.
Fuck me? I understand this is by no means an easy investigation, but
Nothing you can say would make you feel any better now. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer resigned from the RCM following a nervous breakdown. He now lives under a bridge, drinking and occasionally throwing excrement at passers-by, shouting, "I never loved that woman." When asked to comment, former colleagues objected to the theory that his psychological disintegration was precipitated by his wife leaving him. "It's because the Furrows lost that match," said Captain Ptolemy Price, once the man's superior officer. "It's because he couldn't get a big gun from acquisitions, and anyway, police work really burns you out after a while," Satellite Officer Jean-Vic Mayer, the deranged former cop's partner, commented. Sergeant Matt Torson, another former colleague, did not propose any theories, merely saying, "Whatever happened to him wasn't about birds. He got fucked, that's all."
Okay. So I think maybe first damage came from drugs running out. Shit, I didn't buy.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with
Well, I mean,
various medicine bottles,
we could go
nasal
for
sprays, and
this
blister packs.
shit.
They all bear the Saint Baptiste
Then.
pharmaceutical.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or
Oh
something.
wait. It just gives you charges. Oh. I thought it would you would have to use a different one. Shit, I would have bought them then.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste.
Looking for something?
You could push him by
Binnenmeier.
on the bottom of the man's boots. The man bites his lip and drops the near-finished
Oh, wait.
cigarette lingering between his fingers.
Binnenmeier.
On the bottom of the man
shit.
bites
Binnenmeier.
on the bottom of
It's Revachol.
Yeah, I don't know.
Custom. You'll see.
Technically, you're stomping on Ravachol every step you take.
I know you people don't understand poetry.
What do you mean, you people? Half-Life 1 could buy booze and then I'll get me +1 up. But damage morale?
a colorful
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
But I don't have enough money. So far, the drugs and cigarettes didn't do any like terrible effects. No withdrawal or anything similar.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck.
Men like
Whoa.
this only respect two things: strength and fear.
I don't have either. Show me her lorry right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry, where is it?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna.
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Imagine being scared of this guy. I mean, I do have sick gauntlets and leg armor. I'm gonna fuck you for the rest. I wonder if this is going to be decisive. Might be. I'm gonna fuck you for the rest of my life, you understand? I'm gonna put you in a cell with a giant kipped. You're gonna be bleeding kipped dick. You hear me? I think this might work just fine. I've been to your fucking lorry. I know where it is. Point to it. I'm gonna burn it down. You hear me? This one is good too. What's your name, fuckhead? I'm gonna go on police radio saying this guy told Madre to fuck off. Madre? It's either 2 or 3. I think 2 should work better. I'm gonna put you in a cell with a giant kip. You're gonna be bleeding kip dick. You hear me?
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
With the fleet? Rolls with the fleet?
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Where is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Alright. Wow, that was 17%. Crazy. This one? It had drugs in it. No? This? Yeah.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
The lieutenant peeks inside. Try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat
I mean,
and
come
two
on,
steering levers.
you can see through tint if you block the light. Try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
How are we going to get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Really?
This has been hard enough. No need to make
Oh
it any harder.
no! Can't we do it differently? I'm going to die. What is this? Icosahedral red dice? Oh. Why? Why does it matter? Do I have a clothing that will help me? Yeah.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain. Pry bar in hand, you take a hard swing at the window. A loud thunk rings out and the pry bar bounces back, leaving a tiny spider web on the glass.
Can't you just try again?
Looks like the window might be shatterproof. You may have to rethink your approach.
The window appears to be shatterproof.
No, it's not shatterproof. Give me that.
Oh. So, yes, some of these do not really matter. Because Kim takes over and everything is fine.
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor.
I just loosed
You
it
can
open
just
for
reach
you.
in now.
Nice.
It went better than I expected. Open it from the inside.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools
Oh,
lie
can I get a
scattered near the
better
pedals.
crowbar?
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century.
So she might be affected by the pale?
One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat.
Because seems like nostalgia is very much connected to it. Studies at the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an
Oh, just like me.
run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her tragic, untimely death.
What happened to her?
She wasted away in a drug den called the Door to the River, not far from here on Boogie Street, a mixture of cocaine and morphine. She was afraid of the world and the camera too.
That's funny. The stats on the dress I'm wearing is +1 electrochemistry, which is related to drugs, and +1 to drama, which is related to acting. So it might be the very dress. Enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV.
He flicks a switch on the radio.
Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
What else is in here?
The smell of 1,000 You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle. Sandpaper adds extra grip.
And also erases the soles. Looks like the driver has glued a piece of sandpaper to the throttle to offer some extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The sandpaper would also rub off the pattern from the driver's right boot sole.
Yes?
He likes where this is going.
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it yourself.
One of the footprints at the crime scene had an aberration. One sole was smoother than the other.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching.
The lieutenant's eyes light up behind his prescription lens. And she's also the one running the drug trade. What a handful.
Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy
For
and his
certain?
boys could also be involved in the drug operation?
Just based on the sandpaper on the pedal, you're jumping quite ahead, but okay. I mean, I would assume so, but there was definitely a rape involved, so I would first assume that the guy who was killed tried to advance her very forcefully, and then Hardy Boy... No, wait. Then she probably killed him. Though this shot is just so insane to me. From like... If you are too close to do this shot, it must just go through the skull. It must be way more forceful than we've seen. Though I'm not weapon expert, but it's just based on what I know, it doesn't feel right. But yeah. Basically, I'm assuming she shot the guy in the mouth, and then Hardy Boys helped to stage the hanging. And Everard is probably involved in this. I mean, yeah, that's a certainty. He knows what really happened. Those orcs, definitely.
We should see what Titus has got to say on the matter. Are we finished with the lorry?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. The radio transmitter sits on the center console, and a faint smell of perfume is in the air. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
Ah.
It's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the ULAN frequency system.
The ULAN frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thought trails off. Also, the lieutenant leans over your shoulder to examine the note. Push in the pull-out toolbox.
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. The rest is as it was. Radio, posters, a trace of... You close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
He steps away from the lorry. A word, homie.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Don't we need to go on a balcony and smoke a cigarette? Doesn't feel right. Seems like something police would do. What do you think of all of this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net.
I mean, this extra frequency is probably for just more secure communication.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that, a major player must be financing it.
I mean, drug trade, duh.
I'm not sure what the ULAN frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks. And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys knew this driver, as we know that she was present at the lynching. This may be the Union connection we've been searching for.
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
What do you think about movie posters? Is this one-time question, or can I do them all? Connected to the Union. Will the RCM open an investigation into this? Yeah, also, why don't we? Solve another case? Get another point to the to our lists? Though nobody actually pays us for doing extra job. Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
We have 2 cops here already. Why can't they do it? They have nothing to do. Wearing this fucking silly wig and glasses. And what about the movie posters? How do they factor into all of this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
I mean, this is supposed to be like a joke question, but I think it's related to the fact that the lady driver affected by the pail. Though, well, maybe it's not terribly related to the case. Film industry involved. Also this? A lot of women there, especially for a lady driver's cabin.
Yes, well...
He doesn't say no more.
Unimportant.
So it turns out this is... What? This is connected to the Union. Typo?
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. But don't expect to bust this open during our stay here. At best, this is an angle we can use against them to other ends, as extra ammunition.
Okay, debrief over.
Debrief over, after you.
Report to Joyce. Confront Hardy Boys, and that's a task. Also want to try closing the case on dead husband of our working class woman. But I think Kim just said, like, by the end of the day he will call in at the station. So it's just basically saying that I don't need to do anything.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a puller
This is Precinct
No, nothing.
57. How may I assist you? 57.
in the cabin.
Am I forgetting anything? Also, I need to wash my hands? Or is it for only the evening? What else? Also, what is this new bird? Taxidermy bird. Nope, can't do anything. Visual calculus, as cool as it is, didn't really came up that much or helped. I mean, we fit the soul of the boot, and that was nice. But also, I think you need a perception to even start all that. At least it's been like that so far. So I need to put much more points into perception first. Oh yeah, wait. I just need to get back to my... to the proper vest. Also, my robe has an addition of a new tie. I think it fits well.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Any questions
More
about
lessons
reality?
in basic
No.
reality? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
We
Anything else?
for sure have new things to say, but it's all grayed out, so I have to look inside somewhere. Tell me about drug
Until you
trafficking.
come up with something at that intersection. I'm afraid I have little else to tell you. But I'll try.
She simply nods.
Oh, here we go.
Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Shit, I need to... Oh, actually, I don't. So it goes for the perception, right? Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter. And I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this.
One of the tall buildings overlooking the roundabout, most likely. That would give them a read on the entire quarter.
One of the tall buildings? Does it help us somehow?
In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
She's trying to conceal her excitement, but the slight glimmer in her green eyes tells you otherwise. The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Yes, I should. No, that's... actually, I'm talking to myself still.
Exactly. But what?
There will be an investigation, that's all I can say. Or should we go with the question? Yeah, let's go with the question because empathy spotted that, and that might not be present if it didn't happen. Hold on, you seem anxious to know. Why is that?
I've kept my eye on the canyoners. Even tried to get to know one. It's a mystery I'm already invested in. Which one of them, if any, could organize such a complex operation?
There will be an investigation, that's all I can say.
Okay. I thank you for sharing that much with me. My employer thanks you as well.
She exhales as though a weight has been lifted from her shoulders.
In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
What was it that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
I've already heard about the connection between the lynching and strike, but I need your testimony.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
A momentary lapse of faith.
They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply an opening gambit, like you suggested, or a joke even. They did not appreciate the humor.
Do you even, do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company.
Yeah, well, Roger
as far
discovered
as I
that
know,
too.
3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating.
How much of them are left? Because the guy with in the crowd, the big one, is one of them for sure. Who else?
They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
I mean PTSD? Trauma and stressor disorder. Is this a real thing, or a made up for this world?
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was
Here we
drunk and
go.
separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him.
Okay.
He was taken out behind the Whirling
Local
Rats
woman,
and
though.
lynched last Sunday night.
Cause the girl on the lorry, I'm not sure she was local, but she was present at the hanging. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. Who was it exactly? Maybe she knows. What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
Who are they? For now.
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this
yeah.
investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
There was a guy asking about my weapon, I think. We heard about that from the pawn shop keep. The second one is more elusive, it seems like.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, Some or all of the Union militants?
Investigation upon investigation here in Martinez, racing towards some dark deadline.
It's not disco. Team up. I mean, why not? Aren't we working for the... Are the Wild Pines connected to the council? Maybe the investigations can team up, you know, share resources and intelligence.
Surely you're joking. These people are killers. My only hope is that yours provides a single, concrete suspect before they indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put...
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
If you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty.
She leans back.
The Serai's giant hornet, the world's second
Oh,
largest
thanks,
insect,
encyclopedia.
can kill 40 honeybees a minute, while a group of 30 can decimate an entire hive of 20,000 bees in less than 4 hours.
I mean, it's completely useless to know, but it's funny.
These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
Damn. Well, one of the thoughts suggests that I can develop a better way fighting somebody in ceramic armor, so there must be a fight between us at some point. Which I'm not looking forward to. Oh yeah, Deathblade. And the bees. Oops. How's your cultist operation going? Our characters married everybody there already? I can't... Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you are describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois.
She looks at you, eyes damp from the wind.
All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
What can you tell me about Colonel?
Not much.
Colonel.
Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Yeah, that we know too.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities, escort missions and such.
The bee named after me is over 100 years old in your game. Damn. Should have put me out of my misery at 50. What are you doing? Oh, thanks. A bit too late for sacrifices, but I appreciate that.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors, Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands, countries that don't have a good record reporting atrocious military conduct on their soil.
Okay, anything else you got on them?
Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources.
She thinks.
If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
ICP database, where can I get that?
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel.
Could you contact the company, tell them to call them off?
I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
You said the deceased assaulted a woman.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Did the Kuno said that? Who did the passing on? Then
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
what did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Didn't we? I think the Hardy Boys told us that, or somebody told us that, because I know that.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
And who was that woman?
That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
Well, my lead would be either the girl Low Woman, who was with the Hardy Boys, or the girl from the next door in Whirling in Rags, who's just smoking at the rooftop all day, and I can't talk to her.
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
And I mean, there's also a new girl involved in narcotics, the lorry driver. But she's not, I don't think she's local, I don't know. This colonel, the one who has hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him.
I mean, the name? At least, you should know the name. Like, dealing in information and all that shit.
You don't know how you know. It's not written on her face, nor in her voice, but she had sympathy for this man.
Huh. For the raper. I would like to know his name. Yeah, I'm sure the first must be optional. You liked him?
Liked is a bit strong. He was the most charismatic among them. He handled all the talking. His departure left a major gap in the group's communication skills.
So you know the whole group. Come on. I hope by the end of it she gives me their names and descriptions. His name was
Lely. His service
Lely.
name. Nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't
It's a
divulge
nickname.
his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Lily. Why would we need to know that? Didn't we already identify?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed, this matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Where are the remaining two mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth.
So it's not the guy in the crowd. Or is he? And she doesn't know. She must know if it was him, so they're somewhere else. She puts her foot on the guard wire for balance.
They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Yeah, coalition, not council. Vigilantes, the RCM gets its authority from the coalition. Where does theirs come from?
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
We still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
Where are these mercenaries? I'm full on logic here. Didn't pass background check? What the hell is that? Scab leader, bad acting. Alright. Scab leader, murder, bad reply. Must be him. So, yeah, it's related to him.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbor gates.
Here we go.
The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise.
But then that's weird that she doesn't recognize him. Having this network of people like watching everything go on.
The other has a vantage point in a building south of the
Yeah,
roundabout.
yeah.
They were
Wait.
keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
So he is the one helping her out? Fuck. I thought she had extras. Yeah, this makes sense. Like maybe paid kids or some shit like that. One must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader. So I guess it's explainable if she just doesn't want us to know.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
One is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
And the scab leader also has an earpiece, so they have communication. She's talking as if, as if they don't have any communication with her, but who told her about us?
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
Well, we can speak to them then. I had another question for you.
I hope I can answer it better.
How much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They still didn't identify them?
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There's a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
So we have a week? That's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Stay quiet, observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface. She has no excess of emotions for this cadaver. Has she seen dead bodies before? It's likely.
What do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one of the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Likewise on a microcircuit.
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
Where is he now?
This one is going nowhere but the morgue.
The times have changed.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oranese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
She points to it on the photo.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. What is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
The old world passing by, and the new world already here.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
In Martinez looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter. Vredefort? Vredefort has a military academy. The Semines Islands saw a recent conflict. In Revachol, he was executed.
Service history, a record of military career. I mean, this is the same, right? This man is no brother of mine, but this is his service history.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the custom would morph into on the Occident. Mercenary tattoos.
For all the boys looking for adventure, a blood spatter on the seas.
Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
That's what I'm going to do.
It could go this or the other way. Maybe if you're tactful, it could be beneficial. Surely there are other people to ask about the tattoo. This is not necessary to complete the task, officer. It's a dangerous side task. Search elsewhere.
I mean, I do have a lot of psyche, so I might be just fine being tactful. I'm not fine in dangerous situations, though. I need the information.
Do what you have to do.
This is a
Detective
strong
Dubois.
lead, too.
I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security. But if you should wade into the mob to find out, I couldn't stop you.
We will be careful, ma'am.
That's all for the tattoos. Thank you for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
She's not even asking you anything.
No, there's no
It's
new
so
things.
easy to just say.
More perception. I think I just skipped that, so I don't actually tell her this information. That money you gave me, would that make things weird if I shared information, I mean?
Weird? Oh no. One of the positive things to come from the revolution is the unhindered exchange of information, you see. Even when it comes to trade secrets. Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
The lieutenant might have, but I don't remember you logging anything as anything, Harry.
I helped him turn up the heat on the borscht? I didn't do that. At least he didn't tell me to do that. I just did it because I had an opportunity and decided to mess with people. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not going to tell her anything.
You can always drop by later, should something... Of course. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything more lessons in basic, glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? Of course. Of course.
Don't tell her you've met Evera right away. This time.
What? I already told her that. Alright, I think she has nothing else. Oh, there's that. We could go to the boys. Why is it a task to buy pants from Kuno? I don't think I'm going to wear them. Would be nice to actually complete a mission and get money for something. I'm really struggling. I'm just living off picking coins up as I find them. Do you have anything to say?
Hello again, sir.
I've got nothing to say to you.
I also have a little bit more authority. I could do drugs. Yeah, why not? Come on. Also this. Or should I save it? Wait, I can't do it. Whatever, it works.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Still 58. But I might get it higher. Oh, there's a bunch. I just found a bullet in the hanged man's head.
A bullet, you say? That's mighty curious.
Indeed, mighty. How did it get there?
The lieutenant is fixed on Titus.
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads.
He gives you an indulgent look.
I guess it's only logical. At some point, one of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
He taps on his right temple.
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
I'm gonna ask you again, why was this in the victim's head?
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
I think the hanging was a cover-up for shooting.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
Alain pinches the root of his nose.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying. It's a technique. They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you knowing this.
Did you guys shoot him?
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
He throws his head back.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
Do they even have guns? The little guy looks you in the eye.
No, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
She spreads her arms. Don't worry, we will figure this out sooner or later.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
He crosses his hairy arms, having forgotten his beer for a moment.
It's not like you blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
How little? Ooh, now it's 72. Only +1 for the bullet. So I just tell them all the information I find. This is not a great technique for a detective to do, but it will work in this scenario, I guess. I mean, in the game logic. I found 8 sets of footprints, but there is only 7 of you. Where is the 8th hardy boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th hardy boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up. So how are my drugs doing? It's already 52 minutes.
Or what? You want to be the 8th hardy boy? We ain't hired.
Should have softened them up first.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
Oh. We got she. But I already knew that it was she. Now it cements it.
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her. She? So there's an 8th Hardy, and it's a Hardy girl. Who might it be? Elizabeth? The gardener?
Shut the fuck up, Glenn! I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
It has to be good, if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too.
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy boy. It's